Alrighty, so here's some tech on how to brew tea or coffee better. This works for making kind of tasty mixed drinks as well. I've been experimenting with it about a decent amount over the last couple of days, and I've noticed a difference. So do some taste tests on your own before and after this, but I think it does make a difference. So what is the tech? Essentially what we do, I'm brewing some coffee here, I'll pour over, just like some Trader Joe's Chiapas. And what we're gonna do is just use 2 pitchers to pass the water through the air to like aerate it before we brew it. So it's that simple. There's no like any of the stupid measurement stuff, like a lot of coffee things. It's all about measuring stuff and doing exact ratios. That's all stupid. I think this works with tea too. I've tried it like brewing some mint leaves. But I've done this with coffee and it very clearly makes a difference. And I've even the other day I went to a local coffee shop that makes good espresso. And I got an espresso. I've had their espresso before, but this time I took it and I aerated it as I'm gonna do with this water here. And like I almost spit the coffee out the first time, like when I first tasted it, because it was so like unbelievably strong compared to what I was used to from what you can buy from a coffee here in Boston. So without further ado, let's get into this. So I'm making coffee. If you do it in some Pyrexes too, you can kind of get an idea for how much liquid. But basically the idea of why I think this works is I think what we're doing by passing it through the air is just like dissolving like hydrogen and oxygen, or just, you know, whatever is in the air goes back into the water. You can think of this like if you've ever taken care of fish. Fish will die if you just put them in a tank without a bubbler. They need a bubbler in order to survive. So I suspect, since you know we have common genetic ancestry with fish, we probably need to have oxygenated water inside of us too. I mean, that's what blood is. So it probably tastes better because your body probably prefers water that's, you know, it's like you go to a brook or a river and you just feel happy. Especially if you go to one of those streams in the woods that's like burbling. You could sit there and listen to it for hours. So I wonder if there's like some sort of connection to liking the sound of like air mixing with water that we just evolved to have. So do this a decent amount of time. I don't really count it. I just keep doing it until it feels right. And what is feels right? Whatever. So, but yeah, just to see the technique, there's really not much to it. The trick is you want to make sure that there's bubbles, as you can see in my lower Pyrex. That's how you know that there's air getting into the water, because those bubbles are air. So you can do this inside. I don't know if doing it outside makes a difference. I mean, obviously the air content of inside of our houses is a lot different. There's a lot more like skin particles and dust like floating around in the air. And you know, since we're breathing, the mix of CO2 and oxygen is different. So maybe it might be a good idea to do it outside. This is probably like an ultimate like camping thing too. If you bring this on the top of a mountain, you'll probably make some killer coffee with mountain air or tea. So I'm not gonna try to go much any longer here. That should be aerated enough. Then you just brew. So I think you could do this before and after. When I brewed tea with this, I've done it before I put the tea in, but you could probably do it after. I don't know if it makes a difference. That's an experiment to run, is, you know, do it. Try the difference between not aerated at all and aerated before brewing. Not aerated before brewing, but aerated after, and aerated before brewing and aerated after. I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference, but the very easiest thing to do is to aerate it after brewing, or aerate it, because then you only have to brew 1 cup. But you could also do like aeration and let the CO2 bubble up. You could do aeration before and just brew 2 different cups. Yeah, it looks noticeably darker. I don't know if there's really a difference. There is also something to be said though too of slowing down the process of brewing, because when you slow down the process of brewing and have to do more in that process, you tend to center yourself more on making the tea or the coffee, in which case you're going to taste it more. So whether it literally makes a chemical difference or not, if you find that it centers you on the process and makes you placebo yourself to thinking it tastes better, why not do that? It also, I don't know, there could be other added benefits too, like as soon as you start hating coffee that coffee shops have, then you're not going to go buy a coffee anymore, and you'll probably be drinking less coffee. And when you do, it'll be good coffee. Same thing with tea. So here we go. So this is it's brewing. And then I like my coffee with a little bit of coconut oil on it. So that's how I'll be enjoying it. But that's the entire process. Give it a shot, see if it makes a difference, and enjoy. Keep experimenting. Get all alchemical in it.